On this episode of What's Going On with Shipping, we have a collision on the Long Tao River just below Ho Chi Minh City, between Ho Chi Minh City and Vung Tau, on April 25th at 10:40 p.m. between the container ship KMTC Surabaya, flagged in Panama, and the bulk carrier Glengyle, flagged in Hong Kong. I'm your host, Sal Mercaglano. Welcome to today's episode. So this video today is going to be brought to you by Ship Spotting Vietnam. The operator of the channel actually sent me a copy of this video and alerted me to it. And I have to say, I'm really interested in this collision for a variety of reasons, not the least of which the book I wrote based on my master's thesis deals with merchant shipping during the Vietnam War. Fourth Armed Defense. It was part of a 9-volume series put out by the U.S. Navy about the war in Vietnam. You can download it, a PDF of it for free over at the Navy History and Heritage Command website. I'll have the link below there so you can go ahead and hop over to it. But I am very familiar with this area, the Long Tao River, between Ho Chi Minh City, what was Saigon, and down to Vung Tau. This was the major shipping channel used by the United States during the Vietnam War. And in particularly, one of the things I document in my history is the series of attacks on U.S. commercial ships during that through what was known as the Rung Sat, the Forest of Assassins. However, this collision is a cataclysmic collision, as you'll see here from the video. So let's go ahead and hop over to that video. If you're new to the channel, hey, take a moment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be alerted about new videos as they come out. So this video, and I'll have a link to the full video, and more importantly, a link over to Ship Spotting Vietnam. If you want to follow them, please do. They're providing this video for us. You'll notice here, after the collision, the container ship's bow was damaged and the bulk carrier's stern was punctured. The ship is sunk. It is sitting on the bottom. There is an oil spill, and initial reports showed no casualties or damage to the cargo. The Glengyle bulk carrier appears to be in an empty condition. You can tell by the bow floating as free as it is, but that stern is down on the bottom, and you'll see why. KTMC Surabaya has rammed the vessel, and not only rammed the vessel, it has actually peeled open the port side of the vessel. You'll see that the cargo hatches for the aft cargo hold, I think it's hold number 5 on the Glengyle, has been pushed up. You can see it right here, that area right here where it's been pushed up, and the vessel has been hit at a very high rate of speed. You'll notice that anchors were dropped. You can see how that anchor is pulling. The ship is actually kind of drafted around a bit. The ships have been moving, I think, until it sank. They're trying to get some containment around the vessel as we speak. You see the large tugs came down from Ho Chi Minh City to the vessel, and one of the images you'll see here that's a really amazing one to me is how the bow of KMTC Surabaya has just kind of cut into the side. That's the image right there. I'm going to hold it here for just a second. It's actually impacted in here and is actually cut through the port side of the vessel and has ridden basically either through the vessel or on top of the vessel. And you can see how the anchor is here. Now, I'm not sure if they dropped the anchor during the collision itself or if they dropped it and the vessel moved. There's a high current in this river, so it's not exactly clear whether or not the ships have dropped anchor during the collision to help mitigate the collision. You'll see, and I'll do a replay here on marine traffic of the event, but the damage is just catastrophic to the Glengyle. I mean, it's amazing how much force the Surabaya had in hitting it. As you can see, Surabaya fully loaded coming into Ho Chi Minh City and was just able to again impale itself on the side. There's no other words for it. It is just an incredible series of images here. So the full video is about 10 minutes. But again, I mean, you see Glengyle down by the stern. She's obviously flooded her after compartments. Not sure if the engine room is flooded, but based on that imagery there, it would almost kind of indicate to me that potentially, if not the engine room is flooded, Surabaya is sitting on top of Glengyle, pushing her down. And she is. I mean, she's about amidships. You can see how the bow is nearly touching, if not touching, that after crane on Glengyle. It's just an incredible imagery here of the amount of damage that can happen with these types of ships. Again, it's just amazing that there's no casualties, nobody was hurt. it's a testament to that. You'll see the anchor chain is out there, and it looks like 2, 4, 6, maybe 7 shots are out there, maybe 8 shots of chain are out there. Each of those shots, you can tell by how many white links. It looks like 7 lengths of chain there, 7 white links there, so it's about 7 shots of anchor are let out, so 90 feet per shot. Not very deep in this water at all. So we'll see this in the chart. It's not substantially deep. So they obviously let that chain out, and it's run quite a distance. All right, let's go ahead and look at marine traffic. All right, give you the idea of traffic in and around Vietnam. You can see the number of vessels that are just in the holding anchorage here by Vung Tau. This is Vung Tau right here. This is the anchorage into the area. The Soi Rap River runs up this way. So here's Surabaya getting underway at this time. She's going to transit through the region. She'll come up here through the Rung Sat, up through the Long Tau River, which is a long meandering river here. And you can see her go through. Good clip of speed here, about 13 knots going through the region. So definitely using a lot of speed here. Well-marked river, obviously under a pilot. And then come up here to the anchorage, or it's going to be up to the dock here, where she's going to come alongside and use the container facilities. This is very akin. I'm going to shift over here to the satellite image here so you can get a better image here of what we're looking at for the city here. And you can see the massive container terminal that is work here. Very busy waterways here. Lots of small traffic coming in and out. So we'll come over here to departure for Surabaya. This is 25 April. We see it leaving at about 13:30 UTC time. So 13:30 Ho Chi Minh City is +7 GMT or UTC time. So about 20:30 leaving the port here. You can see Surabaya heading downstream at this time, roughly around 10 knots heading down. And you'll see it making its navigation. Now, I will note that AIS here on marine traffic is not the most accurate because you don't have as many receivers down in this area, so we're not getting a kind of a really clean transit of it. It looks like it's out of the river there. It obviously is not out of the river there. Now, I'm going to hold it right here because this is the moment where we start seeing the 2 vessels in question come into position. All right, we're going to go full Juan Brown here, Blancalirio. So this meeting position here at a double bend or an S-turn in the river is probably the worst spot you can to meet vessels. Surabaya is coming downstream at 11.5 knots. Glengyle is coming upstream at about 13.1 knots. The weather here is pretty benign, light winds at the time. It is dark. You have channel markers here, but notice that you just have red buoys coming down here. I should note too, buoys are different for those of you in the United States. There are 2 different buoy systems in the world. There's the A and B system. Vietnam operates on the opposite of the US system. So instead of red on right returning, it's red on left when returning. So just to be clear about our buoyage here, so people are sitting there saying they're on the wrong side of the buoys. So our depth of water here is in meters. So here they are heading to right off Point Anton, and we're going to go ahead and let this play. Both ships are beginning their maneuver, and here you see them basically coming into a head-on position against each other. Again, we got to be very careful. AIS on marine traffic doesn't always give us our best positioning. What we're going to get better data from is the ship's VDR, their vessel data recorders, and their electronic charting system, which will measure them. But what you see here is that collision between the 2. Surabaya hits its port bow up against the port bow of the Glengyle, and they both kind of peel into each other. Surabaya coming downstream at 11.8 knots, Glengyle going upstream at 11.6 knots. They both come together, fit in the position, and then they begin drifting, and they drift upward here until Surabaya comes stern ashore up against the west side there. And you see the two of them moving, and they are still drifting here. This is why I think that the anchors were let go, and you start getting that drift. I don't think they had time to let their anchors go. I'm going to let this play at a little bit of a faster rate here for you. And you see them maneuvering into position. You lose Glengyle off the system here, largely because of probably electric dispersion. It comes back on here. But here you can see how the vessel moves. Here are salvage tugs and rescue vessels coming into position at this time to provide assistance. And again, you're getting basically the movement of the vessels as the current in the river shifts. And you can actually see them moving around quite a bit. They're actually being moved here, it appears, by the tugs to get them into a position where traffic can remain open. And it appears as if traffic is remaining open at this time. Here's the information on Surabaya from Marine Traffic. Vessel 7 years old, built in 2018, 2,800 container capacity TEU. Vessel was departing from Ho Chi Minh City, heading toward Hong Kong. The ship was partially laden. Here's the ownership. Beneficial owner is Nissan Kayun Company. The registered owner is Nico Kisun Sun Lanes. The commercial manager is Korean Marine Transport Company. And the technical and ISM manager is Seong Shipping out of Korea. The classified in Japan, its P&I insurance is the Britannia Steam Insurance Association. Over the past year, the vessel has been operating basically in East Asia, Korea, Vietnam, China, Hong Kong, and Indonesia. So it appears to be what we would refer to as a feeder ship, just moving containers from port to port. Let's look at Glengyle, a Hong Kong registered vessel built 10 years ago in 2015, capacity of 37,679 tons. The ship was sailing from Phu Mai up to Ho Chi Minh City. Ownership is with, or beneficial owner is Uniasia Shipping, registered owner Maple Bulk Ship Shipping. The technical manager is Fairmont Shipping out of Hong Kong. The protection indemnity is under guard, and the classification society is NYK. The ship was built in Japan at Imbari. Ship has been operating over the past year between China, New Zealand, USA, South Africa, and in Vietnam. So a significant collision. I'm going to imagine that Glengyle is not going to come out of this in a salvageable condition based on the amount of structural damage just looking at the vessel. The Surabaya will have to be surveyed. That bow probably suffered some significant damage, especially on the bottom, the bulbous bow area. So this is a big salvage that will go on now in the river. Again, highly trafficked area. The Long Tao River is a very tough river, based on reading of American ships going up in the 60s and 70s. It does not seem to have gotten much better and much easier, and any sort of meeting condition in that situation at night in an S-turn is really not desirable. Not sure if the pilots were talking to each other. Pilots are embarked on ships to aid in the navigation. I would assume pilotage would be compulsory in this area for such a narrow and very winding river as the Long Tao. Obviously, a meeting situation in an S-turn is the worst situation you can have. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, take a moment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so be alerted about new videos as they come out. Leave a comment, share it across social media, and if you can, support the page. How do you do that? You can hit the super thanks button down below, or head on over to Patreon and become a monthly, yearly subscriber. Again, if you're in mood for some light reading, doesn't cost you anything, feel free. Go download Fourth Armored Defense. You can read all about shipping during the Vietnam War. I'm kind of proud of it. It's my book. I just, I don't get anything for it. You can just download it. I did it under a contract for the U.S. Navy. So feel free. If you don't want it, don't worry about it. But if you do, download it to your tablet and you can read it at your convenience. Until our next episode, this is Sal, signing off.